What is a word of the year? Question mark, question mark. A word of the year is what you come up with that you think defines your year that you're about to have. My word this year is stronger, and I can't wait to share with you what that means. So come on, let's start another amazing year by designing goals around your word for 2023. Welcome to Ladies Kickin Ass. I'm your host, Tanya Wilson, and I'm crazy passionate about encouraging women to tell their hard-earned stories, provide coaching and creative ideas to help you build the service business of your dreams. What's different about this podcast? Well, we are real, and that means most of us are trying to juggle all the things. Being an entrepreneur, mama, wife, sister, friend, doggy mama, and all those other titles that we love. This life is a dance, and we celebrate every twist, step, and dip along the way. This show chats about our wins, our losses, business, relationships, family, and how to get the hell out of our own way and believe in ourselves and our big ideas. The Ladies Kickin Ass Community is full of strong, generous women who support, mentor, and cheer for each other. So, come on, let's get inspired and learn something new today. Welcome to the Ladies Kickin Ass podcast. Happy 2023. Welcome back to the Ladies Kickin Ass podcast. I honestly cannot even believe that it is 2023. It is absolutely crazy to even say that. Oh my gosh. It seems like 2000 was like yesterday. Anyways, I want you to take a moment, if you haven't done so already, and I know most of the ladies that listen to this podcast are go-getters and often forget to celebrate the victories that they get along the way before they start a new goal. I want you to stop and I want you to congratulate yourself on having one incredible year last year. Even if it wasn't your favorite, there are definitely things that you can celebrate. And hell, it might have been your favorite. There are plenty of things to celebrate, and oftentimes we overshadow those with the things that didn't quite go our way or we didn't quite achieve those things. But I want you to stop, pause, take a moment, even pause this podcast and write down 5 things that you are incredibly proud of that you accomplished last year, because I know they're in there. Please share them with our community on our Facebook group and even on an Instagram. We'd love to hear what it is that you're celebrating so we can celebrate with you. And after you have done all of that, I want you to come back here to me and I want to talk about planning for 2023. I want to give you kind of my process that I go through when I'm planning and setting goals up for the next new year. I try to make it as simple as possible because I truly believe that complexity kills dreams. I believe that complexity kills productivity. I love simplicity. So, super simple, to the point. This is how we get started. So, with that, the title of this podcast today is Word of the Year. What's your word of the year? Some of you may not know what I'm talking about. If you've listened to other episodes of the podcast, you most certainly do. Because at the beginning of every year, I frame my goals around a word that I would like to become not only personally, but in my business. Last year, my word was consistency. How can I be more consistent? There were areas that I did a really great job at that in coming up with new systems and processes for my business, being more consistent with a schedule of when I'm in the office, when I'm not, what I'm doing every day when I'm in the office, so that nothing is getting left behind. I also found through that discovery of consistency that I just had way too much stuff on my plate. And through that, last year, in finding more consistency truly at my core, which means in my own personal life, which obviously extends to your business. But if you're not centered in here, nothing's centered anywhere else. I truly realized I had too much on my plate. I had that feeling of burnout. I was getting there towards the end of the last year, and some things just had to go to the wayside. Some of you may have noticed that that was episodes of this podcast because I needed to focus in the areas that were truly pulling me in that direction. And last year, that was achieving our goal of hitting 1.5 million in our pumping business, and which we did. Woohoo! And also taking a really close look at what my junk removal company meant to me, and if it was something that I wanted to consider continuing to run, and if it was something that I wanted to consistently be involved with, because we did have a big misfortune at the beginning of last year, and really raw and vulnerable, I had a business partner that stole a lot of money from me. And it took so much work to try to recoup the business and get it running the way it should have been running and pay more attention and be more mindful of what was going on. And I had an incredible crew of people that came in and really worked side by side with me in this business. But I promised my husband, give me 1 year and let's see what we can do with this business, see if we can fix it. Or in November, we'll revisit this. And if it's not serving us the way that we want this business to, we'll move on and find other things that we want to pursue. So in November, I really had to take a deep look and inside myself and inside my business. And I had to make the decision that I was going to sell that business. I was no longer going to be the operator of that business. I never looked at that as oh my gosh, I gave up on a business, or I sold this business, or now I only have one service business. I looked at that as a huge opportunity. Um, and I'll be real honest with you, I was very scared of the failure that could encapsulate that decision, meaning people might look at me and be like, "Oh, well, how come you're not doing that anymore? You must have failed at that, or that must have not worked." Or I really, before I made the decision of selling off the name and not running this business anymore, that I was not that business. And that is something that I worked on within myself last year of I'm not my level of productivity every day. My value is not construed in the amount of money that my businesses make. My value as a human being is not tied to one thing that can be taken away. It's all inside of me. And that was a consistent mantra, if you will, that I had to repeat to myself a lot last year to really arrive at the decision that it is best for me to not continue working in that atmosphere and not working in that business. So we made a decision to close that business and sell off the assets. And I couldn't be more excited with that idea because with that shift, it is definitely giving me more time and opportunity to be with you and to be able to develop this community that I have been so insanely passionate about building for the last couple of years and just couldn't figure out how to manage the time to give you what it is that you needed. And this year, that is my promise to myself is that this year, with all of that consistency that we put into the businesses last year, we created incredible systems and processes. I created incredible systems and processes even within my family and my own personal schedule and the way that I do things. That this year, I don't want to fix stuff. This year, my word is stronger. What I mean by stronger is I want to take all the work that was put in last year in the business and in my family and in my personal life, and I want to make it stronger. What can I do to make it stronger? And in looking up definitions of what stronger means, like just Google the word stronger. You can totally take this word for yourself if it actually aligns with what you're wanting to do as well. I would be flattered. And then we could work on it together. So let me know if you decide to do that. But when you look up the definition of what stronger means, it's so exciting. First of all, just Google stronger, and it is so much fun to see how many songs actually include that word or actually titled that. Stronger, What Doesn't Kill You by Kelly Clarkson. Kanye West, Stronger. Not a massive Kanye West fan, but that is a good song. Um, Even old crazy Britney Spears has one that's stronger, and it is excellent words in these songs. Even if you just listen to those 3 songs right there and make that kind of your anthem for the year, holy shit, you can move mountains. There's so many cool songs. Um, but in really looking up what that word means, the definitions are insane and they're everything that I want to incorporate in my business. So I want to go over a few of those with you, see if this resonates with you. If this isn't your word, that's fine. Let's come up with another word. And I'm so incredibly excited to learn what our community has decided to make their word of the year and fashion their goals around. So, one of the biggest questions that I have to ask first is how can I make myself stronger? How can I build upon the skills that I acquired last year to make myself stronger? One of my number one things that I'm going to focus on this year is building a community of women around me. I need that more than anything in the world. I have a lot of virtual wonderful friends. I don't take the time out of my schedule to actually build real intentional face to face friendships with these women that I talk to all the time. I consider a lot of these women my friends, and I still don't know them at a personal core, and that is something that I know that I have to do myself to fulfill that need of having that women kinship, that friendship, um, genuine team of people that you can call at any time and shit even say, "Talk me off a ledge, talk me off this cliff. I need help with this. What do you think about this?" And just have that camaraderie with people in my community and people around me. So I know that will lead to something that my husband and I have been talking about and like we need to make more couple friends that are truly aligned with the types of goals and speed in which we are living our life. You know, we have a lot of friends and we love our friends, but we really want to develop that business community friendship where we can sit down and even pick each other's brains about the things that we're working on or ideas that we have and bounce ideas off of each other, which I know will and can start from those friendships that I develop with the women in my circle. So that is so incredibly important for me and a big thing that I'm working on. Another thing for myself personally to become stronger is focusing on my health. I struggle with this. I have always struggled with this. I'm not a great eater. I'm not great at, I don't really know shit about nutrition. um, I grew up kind of a meat and potatoes kind of girl. That's just the Wyoming way. I have never really taken the way that I eat super seriously. I know that we definitely go out for drinks more than we should, and that's something that I am reeling back on this year. Not reaching for that as the outlet to go have a conversation with someone or to spend time with my husband away from our kids. It would always be, let's go to happy hour, let's go have a drink, let's go to this. There is nothing wrong with that. Every once in a while, once a week, that you get together, you have date night, or you go to a happy hour, which we're looking forward to having this year. Have a glass of wine, but not partaking of that as I go home, kick my shoes off, put my yoga pants on, take your bra off, get a glass of wine, which is pretty much how things were going at the end of last year. So I definitely want to reel back in on that and become stronger that way. By doing that and focusing on that, I'm helping my kids become stronger too. I'm not just throwing Captain Crunch at them in the morning and saying, "Here's your breakfast." I'm actually teaching them about nutrition and those things that I'm now learning about in my 40s that I would have benefited hugely from learning when I was a child too. Providing opportunity for kids to go to the gym with me. I have made a commitment to be at the gym 3 days a week, at the gym 3 days a week, and then doing at home stuff 2 other days a week. Even if it's taking a walk, listening to your favorite podcast, or catching up on episodes of Ladies Kickin' Ass, or listening to the many podcasts that I suggest through Instagram and LinkedIn. Um, do things to feed your mind while you're feeding your body at the same time. I think when you make those correlations with each other, it's very much like atomic habits, habit stacking. When you're doing this, do this. When you're doing this, do this. And there's always a trickle down effect from the goals that we're working on. And I want to uniquely impact my children in getting stronger with their health as my husband and I are also wholly focused on that this year. The next thing that I am asking myself as I'm building goals around this word stronger is how can I make my team stronger? What can I do to enrich them and educate them and help them to become the best that they can possibly be in their position? Now, I run a pretty small company. I have 7 employees. So as far as like work my way up and do all this, absolutely, because we are steadily growing. So there's always opportunity for them to become managers as we bring more people in and build our team. But this year, I truly want to focus on the team that I have and in giving them all the tools that they need to be as successful as possible and truly investing in them as people. I think that is one of the biggest things that you can do for the culture of your business and retention for your business. And just truly getting to know the people that work for you and with you is to help them become better humans, period. This month, I am so very excited. I have been working with, and you know this if you've listened to the podcast, Tony Robbins' organization this last year. We have done so much training with them, and we're actually so excited that we're bringing that to our business. My personal Tony Robbins coach is going to be here next Friday to do a full day training with my entire staff and their spouses. And I couldn't be more excited about this. A lot of people overlook the fact that if you help them as a couple, or even the spouses that don't work for your business directly, they only just become better employees and better team members for each other. And I want to wholly focus on my employees as a whole, and that includes their families. So we are going to be doing that training for them and their spouses, and I'm so excited to see how they implement the things that we have been learning and for all of us to be on the same kind of page moving forward. I'm just super stoked to see how that's going to work out and building that company culture, having that out of the office experience for people to get to know each other on a people level. Once a month this year, we are also going to be doing something fun, just a fun event. Whether I take my team to Top Golf, we're planning on a spring training baseball game. We're going to um, do a trivia night next week, where we can meet other business people that are also going to be there. And we're just so excited to be able to do those. I plan on coordinating some of these where we are actually hosting it as Priority Pumping and inviting other vendors to come and join us so we can get to know the people that we work for actually on a human level too. So that's something to just kind of think about as you're planning team and company goals this year. Think about ways that you can help enrich your team by creating an atmosphere that's maybe outside of work. And so that they can get to know each other on a personal level. The next thing that I would ask myself is, how can I be stronger for my team? What can I do to become stronger for them? How can I become a stronger leader? And I truly think that is continuing to invest in leadership training, which I have done this past year, and how to learn new marketing tactics and be able to offer them better benefits by doing my research and figuring things out for them. So I definitely want to continue to develop myself as a leader so that I can help them become better at their job, which in turn helps them feel better as people and want to be part of this team and encourage other people to join our team. The next thing that I would ask is, what processes inside of our business can be stronger? Now, we spent copious, insane amounts of time developing systems this last year. Are we done? Hell no. Are we ever going to be done? Probably not. Because I think once you get systems in place, there's probably another one that needs to be updated. But when you co develop those with your team members, what I mean by that is you come together with them and develop those. It is a beautiful thing because now you can give them ownership in that process as well. So as they see fit and see need to update them, depending upon what's going on within your business, they have the autonomy to do that. Give them the autonomy to do that because you do not want to be responsible for having to update them all the time. You do not want to be responsible for having to train every new person that comes into your business. This year, we really focus big time on putting together kind of a septic system 411, how we run our business, and how septic systems work. We recorded a lot of that into a program called Trainual. And I would love to introduce y'all to that program. It is absolutely incredible. It was actually created by a company here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it is so awesome because it literally automates all of your processes to the point that you can sit down with new people and say, go through XYZ. You can send them invitations to all the stuff you want them to learn. You can even put tests in there so that you can test to see if they did it and they understand the knowledge. It's so incredibly valuable to have all of that stuff available for new people that are coming in. So it doesn't take all of your time and hiring is not so daunting. So really getting those processes inside of your business to be as strong as humanly possible. With that comes my next question. How can we make communication at our business stronger? The beginning of this year, we're really focusing on automating communication. Whatever and anything that we can possibly automate for communication is getting automated. I don't ever want people to call into my business and say, I haven't heard from you. I don't know what's going on. What is this? I have questions. I want to beat them to the punch and I want to actually um, answer all those questions for them prior to them having them. I want to eliminate the need for callbacks because they have questions about, how does this process work? How does this process work? This year, we will be fully automated with emails, for example, that go out after a job is booked. Let's say for a pumping service, that will show with a detailed time lapse video exactly what to expect while my team is out there performing that service. It will give them an overview of everything that will happen, and it will automatically go out the second that that job is booked in the form of an email. So you can also cut down your time on the phone by having to explain this to everyone. Just let them know that there's an email follow-up that's coming that will answer a lot of the questions about the service, and they are more than welcome to then text you if they have any questions. Invite people to text you. It saves you an insane amount of time on the phones with questions that are not urgently needed over a phone call. That's a little tip for you too. Anything you can do with automation is fantastic. And we're going to be diving in this year to teach you how to do a lot of that automation through some coursework that will be coming out in April. And I'm so excited to be able to show you guys how to do this. You will then realize it is possible for you to work on your business and not in your business. It is possible for you to become a business owner instead of owning your job by these simple little things of automation and processes. The next one that I'm going to work on is strategically how we can budget stronger to have a more profitable year. Typically, every year, I'm like, okay, we need to add this piece of equipment and we need to do this, and we need to do this, we need to do this. This year, I'm not super set on buying any new equipment. What I am super set on is becoming more profitable with what we're at. That is called scaling. I want to scale this business this year. Scaling is truly making a even 10% increase in profits, but decreasing your expenses. So you're actually making more money with what you actually are already doing. Let me say that again. So, if you want to continue to keep building this business and building it and not focusing on the profitability or scaling of this business, you're just building, building, building. As you're building, you're not focusing on the expenses area. So, typically, if you're just focused on this building era, you are having increased revenue and increased costs because that's kind of, they go hand in hand. But I want to work smarter, not harder inside of my business. And I want to figure out, even going back to zero base budget of everything in my business and saying, do we actually need this? Do we actually need to pay for this? What is this subscription costing us? Where are we at with this? Can this service actually help us do what this service is actually doing, and cancel one of those? Like, literally sitting down and looking at subscriptions, I was paying over $3,000 a month just for software and different kinds of equipment subscriptions that I have. Absolutely nutso. I know for a fact I can shave at least $1,000 off of that. And what else can I do with that? An extra $1,000, even if I want to keep 500 in a pocket or in an account somewhere for the business, eh, like, put that in an emergency fund for the business and use another $500, even if you want to spend that money still on marketing. Oh my gosh, you can do so much with $500 in marketing stuff. It's crazy if you know how to smartly use that, which we're also going to teach you how to do this year. But budgeting stronger. So making sure that we're increasing profits by decreasing expenses. Even if our business just grows in sales marginally, we will still be a more profitable company this year. What education opportunities can I participate in that will make me stronger? I am a massive, massive, massive fan of proximity is power. And what I mean by that is, surround yourself with people that will provide opportunities to you, for you, with you. For you is because they like you and you have a connection with them. That is how they'll provide them for you. With you, they're going to team up together with you. And maybe you guys can put together something where you can advertise or market together and split that cost. That's something that you can do. It's also something that you can learn from those people. When you put yourself in a circle of people that you want to become, you up level your game. I always think about this: if you golf at all or really play any sports at all, you truly play at the level of the people that you're playing with. If I play golf with a bunch of my girlfriends, we just kinda screw around and, have some cocktails and laugh and have fun, and I love that, don't get me wrong, I love it. But when I go out and play with a bunch of guys that are serious about playing golf, my golf game is tremendously better. because I'm focused and I'm trying to compete. I'm a very competitive person. I will compete with those that are competitive. If I'm hanging out with people that aren't really going the direction I am, are just content being where they're at, they're not really striving for more, versus people that I hope to be able to become like them someday, which one do you think I'm working harder with? Those are the people that I wanna surround myself with this year. Those are the people that can help me get to where I want to be, both in building the Ladies Kickin' Ass community and also by helping, by the way, the septic pumping business, because many of these people are home service related ladies that also know people that can share business back and forth with each other. And just because you're not in the same industry doesn't mean that you can't help each other. We help each other all the time. I get people that are, what's a great electrician? Do you know a good roofer? Roofer. I get that question all the time. Do you know a good roofer? I'm not even in roofing. I have a septic business and people call and ask about roofers. Do I have one? Absolutely. I have a couple of them that we like to send out because we want to build that referral list. It makes us look connected and it builds the trust factor with those people that are asking for that referral. So how can you put yourself in and utilize the power of proximity? Find events that are around you. Go to entrepreneurial happy hours. There are so many things. I mean, even in the Phoenix market, there's Arizona entrepreneurs happy hour meetups all the time. Find a local real estate agent that does mixers that you can become a part of. My friend Mindy is incredible about doing those. Um, my friends Kristen and Melody have a incredible networking group that they get together with. And both sets of these women are real estate agents, but I meet so many people there that I end up connecting with further past that mixer that we share business ideas back and forth with, and they actually become part of your network. So look for places where you can go to meet people. And there are so many of them. If you need a little tidbit of how to get into something, go to a website called Eventbrite and you can type in what you're looking for on there. It'll pop up a whole bunch of events. You can also go to Facebook events and look up from there, networking. I mean, that's truly what it is. And we're going to spend more time in another episode talking about how to effectively make those meetings really mean something for you. That's something I've struggled with big time. I'm kind of a stand back and watch and then get to know people kind of person. But the thing is that when you go to those kinds of events, you just want to go there and get to know people. Don't shove business cards in their face. Don't tell them, oh, what do you do? Oh, what do you do? What brought you here today? Like, have an actual conversation with them that's not just, what do you do? Get to know them as a person before you truly give a shit about what they're doing as a business. If they have good energy, go to the energy. Go to those people that share energy like you have. Like am never going to go talk to somebody that's very very quiet, that's kind of being standoffish and stuff like that. When I talk, I have a lot of energy. When other people that are passionate about what they're doing, they talk, they have a lot of energy. Those are my people. Find your people. And even if you're a little bit scared of that, still stand around those people and get to know what they're talking about and soak up that energy. I totally believe and truly within my heart that energy is transferable. And so I think if you're around people with high energy, you have no other option but to catch it. And that's one of the most incredible things to catch. I am also super excited. I'm going to be joining a mastermind here locally that is talking about building community and the proper way to do that, the best ways to find it, the best way to contribute to make it effective and make people want to be a part of it. I have some insanely good ideas, but there are some things that sometimes you need help curating that and actually putting it into an action plan. So I'm so excited to do that in February. I'm sure you'll be hearing all about that, and seeing the results of what that kind of education opportunity can do to build this podcast and build the Ladies Kickin Ass community. So I can't wait to participate in that. Um, on the flip side, and outside of work, this community is very much for working mamas in the home service industry, which most of us are. And sometimes at the end of the day, I can't be alone that I want to sit in my closet and just have a second of solace by yourself because you feel like you're trying to juggle all of these things. I don't use the word balance, and if you're part of this community, you know I don't use the word balance because it's impossible for them to be balanced all the time. There are seasons in our lives, and you have to be flexible that it is a juggle. And sometimes you're juggling more balls at home, sometimes you're juggling more balls at work. And sometimes you need the flexibility to be juggling balls in both of those things. Sometimes one is heavier than the other. Sometimes one is crazier than the other, and all the time, one has to get your attention more than the other. It just does. I truly don't believe that there is this whole big balance situation, but there can be compromise and there can be intentionality. And intentionality is when you're at home and you're with your kids or you're with your husband or your partner and you are outside of work, that you're fully present for them in that time and you're not trying to do both at the same time. When I'm at work, I want to be at work and I want to be able to perform the best that I can here at work. When I'm at home, I want to be the best mom that I can. I don't want my kids to grow up remembering my mom never paid attention to me. She was more interested in what was going on Instagram or Facebook, or she's too busy answering emails, or she's doing this. Now, my kids have grown up with my business and they do understand that there's times when mama's got to work. And I tell them that mama's got to work. I got to go in my office. I got to work. Give me an hour. I'll be with you after this. I don't try to do both of them at the same time. I did for years and I could see the toll it was taking on my kids and on myself and on my marriage. That's something I just this year I'm going to reserve special time for my kids and special time for my husband so that it's not revolving around the business all the time. And that is something that you have to draw some pretty good lines in the sand. I know sometimes when talking to my kids will start telling me about their day and then I start telling them about my day and I just continue to keep talking about work and I can see their cute little eyes just glaze over like they don't really give a shit what you're talking about, mom. They weren't there, they don't understand the business, they just don't know. We can still share our days with them, but not have them be our sounding board for everything that went right or went wrong at work today. So, really being just that mom for them when I'm with them. One of the biggest things that I am wholly invested in improving this year is my marriage. My husband works inside of my business. He runs our installation team and also works with our field guys. And this can be a monster challenge if you work with your husband in the business. Whether you're business partners, whether you work for his business, he works for your business, however this shakes itself out, it can be very difficult on a marriage to not let that business become your sole topic of conversation. And I truly realize and apologize publicly to my husband that I was so focused on work and everything else last year that I kind of left him in the dust. Um, we have been very good about making sure that Saturday nights is our date night and we go to dinner and we just spend that time together. But I can't tell you one time that we went out for a date night, and I say that in air quotes, that we truly weren't just having business meetings because that's what we talked about the entire time is business. Uh, the more he gets involved in the business, the more it is harder for him to not do that too. Bring up the topic of work or talk about something work related because we are so invested in the business. We have made it a point that when either of us are doing those things, we can politely stop the other and say, "You're talking about business. We're on a date." And somebody not get offended by that. Those conversations about work are important. But if your marriage or your partnership is not happy and it's not contributing positive things to your life, or is a source of contention, or is constantly problemsome, that extremely impacts your business and your family. And that I know impacted my business and my family last year. And I am fully committed to taking that time with him to let him know that he is important to me and that he is not second to my business and that his happiness means the world to me and that I am responsible for a portion of that happiness. And I need to make sure that I am filling his bucket as he is committed to filling mine. So, truly working together to come to an agreement of this is this is when we talk about work. This is when we don't talk about work. However you want to work it. For us, we like what we do. And, a lot of times people say, well, what's your favorite hobby? My work. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I truly do love what I do and I love to create. And I think being creative is the cornerstone of entrepreneurship. So, being in that creative space is where my sweet spot is, and I love that. But create things together for your family, create things together for your marriage, create things for each other, surprise each other. Pretend like you're dating your husband again this year, even just for a few months at the beginning of the year and see what happens. That's kind of the mentality I've decided to take with this. Um, and truly see how that can impact your business. When there's a point of contention at any point in your life, and I talk to my team about this too, think of it like a wheel. And if you've got a nail in the tire at any spot, there is a thud, 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 thud as that tire keeps spinning around until it gets deep enough that it punctures it and the tire goes flat and then nothing works. You have to, if a word like stronger is going to be your word for the year, you truly have to be dead set on making all areas of your life stronger. That is why I'm wholly focused on health this year and getting healthier so that I feel stronger. I feel more confident. I just feel better. I just feel better. I know that there are things that can probably health wise make me feel better if I take better care of myself. And by that, I'm not putting myself on a restrictive diet and doing this and doing this. I'm just going to improve one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Let's try one more thing at a time. Let's just habit stack to become and live a healthier lifestyle. healthier conversations with my team, healthier access with my team, building healthier relationships with my team that's outside of work. And it's not just all about work all the time. Investing in my team for them to become stronger for their families and with their families, I think is so incredibly important. Being stronger for my customers, building a stronger company that our competition is what we did yesterday. It's not the people that are doing what we're doing. We're not competing with them. We're competing with who we were yesterday and how we can improve on that or what we can repeat because we kicked ass yesterday. Strategically designing a stronger business by watching your budgets and watching your spending is so incredibly encouraging and confidence building. Know your numbers. I watch Shark Tank all the time, and when they say, "Oh, this number and this number and this number," I'm like, "I have to figure that out. I have to know this for my business. I need to do this." So we'll spend a lot of time this year together working on that because I know that can kind of be a daunting task, if you're not a real numbers person. Investing in education opportunities. A lot of these masterminds and education things when you're at an entrepreneurial level can be quite the investment. I don't look at it as, oh my God, that's so expensive. Oh, I can't afford that. I can't afford not to take part in these things. I spent a good chunk of change last year on education for myself. And just like Warren Buffett has said on numerous occasions, if you don't know what to invest in yourself. And given this crazy ass market that we live in right now, who the hell knows what you're supposed to invest in? So, my advice this year for you is invest in yourself wherever you can. No one can take that knowledge away from you. And even if you have a failure in a business or you need to make another source of income, you've developed skills to be able to do that. And I think that's pretty damn awesome. How can you be stronger as a mama for your kiddos? How can you do that? My biggest goal for you is just be present with those babies for as long as possible. Every time I look at my teenage daughter, I'm like, holy shit, you're going to be gone in like 5 years. And I want to soak up every minute that I can with her. So figure out a way to be able to do that, set aside time to do that. And then if you are in a partnership or a marriage, make that person feel like they're your you are their number one fan. Lift them up, make them feel important, and see what you can do in conquering the world together. I know this was a lot of stuff to throw at everybody today, but I'm so excited for 2023. I look at this year as my golden year. You know, when you have like your golden birthday that you turn, my birthday's on the 23rd. So when I turn 23 on the 23rd, but it's the 23rd year. Not everybody gets to experience that. So I think it's so cool. So I am truly looking at this like it's my golden year and I am going to make magic happen. And I hope that you will continue on this journey with me in being part of the Ladies Kickin Ass community and share this information with somebody that you think can use it. Share it with your team, share it with your girlfriends, share it with the ladies in your family. Even if you think that you're going to be crazy, then you know that you're onto something. So be sure to share this with everybody that you know and love and encourage them to become part of the Ladies Kickin Ass community where we can help pour into them and provide support, mentorship, love, excitement, celebrations, and even a shoulder to cry on when that's needed. I'm so excited to hear what your word for 2023 is. So be sure to send me a DM on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Let me know what your word of the year is. Let's see if we can't do the most amazing year together in 2023. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Ladies Kickin Ass podcast. I hope you loved it. Hey, if you got a lot out of today's show and you think a friend of yours may love it too, please do me a really quick favor. Screenshot the episode, post it, tag us at Ladies Kickin Ass, or share the link to the episode. I'm here to help and support as many ladies as I can, and your generosity in sharing the show means the world to me. Don't forget, hit subscribe to be notified of all newly released episodes, and leaving the show a 5-star review is the ultimate expression of love for our team. If you're interested in becoming a guest on the podcast, I would so love to hear from you. Shoot me a DM on Instagram or Facebook and we'll chat further. Thank you for being part of our tribe, and until next time, go kick some ass, lady.